All right, we're gonna finish up the Hostel trilogy. I'm recording this before I am not home for the weekend, so I'm recording this really quickly. I got maybe in half an hour, maybe less, 23 minutes. So Hostel 3, right? I didn't particularly care for the first two, but this one I thought was okay. It's not as gruesome as the last two, I don't think. Well, there's one thing that's kind of gross, but other than that, it wasn't written by Eli Roth. That's automatically a plus for me. But it does sort of feel like it. They still have the characters use the FAG word. You still have, bad language and stuff. But a couple of times in the film, this film subverts your expectation because you're thinking one thing's going to happen and completely goes the other way. Like the beginning of this movie, right? You start with this unassuming guy who we later find out his name's Travis. He shows up. He's a normal, schlub-looking kind of guy. I'm pretty sure they cast this actor because he looked like a normal guy. So he goes in and he walks in on this couple, Anka and Victor, who's a basically Ukrainian Simon Miller from What Culture? Wrestling. What Culture? Basically, he looks like Simon Miller, but he's Ukrainian. Actually, in real life, the guy's from Michigan. So, but yeah. And he's talking to them, and they try to make you think that this couple are working for the Elite Hunter Club because the guy's got a knife and an ominous bottle of vodka. He's like, "Hey, you want a drink? Come on, we drink. You and me." He's like, "What the fuck you doing here?" And he's like, "This is my room now." He's like, "Oh." He's a little off-putting. This guy acts very off-putting, very angry. He's like, we drink. He's like, I don't know. Oh, come on. He's just vodka. And I get the Ukrainian accent. They're similar, I think. I don't know. And he's like, I only drink beer, so why don't you have one with me? And so they start drinking beer, and she's like, I'm going to take a shower. She goes in to take a shower, and he's like, hey, you have to go to this club we were at last night. Hold on. Baby, where is the slip for the club? Baby? Anka? He's like, oh shit, somebody's on my girlfriend, come here. And you're thinking, oh, this is a trap, and he's gonna go in and get knocked out. Because, the whole thing's set up like, oh, he conveniently can't find the slip he's looking for. His girlfriend's gonna take a shower, he's asking, oh, it's a setup. No, he goes in, they go in, they slowly reveal that she's unconscious. And he's just kind of standing there. He's like, what are you doing? Hit me! What are you doing? And he starts to act. It's revealed that this guy, Travis, is the one involved. And these two foreign people are actually not. It's a great switch because this movie actually takes place in Las Vegas, not Europe. So it's a switching situation here. And we later find out she gets killed. And Victor is like in the rest of the movie somewhat. So that is over my expectation. And I'm like, oh, you know what? This might be okay. It is okay. Then we meet two of our main characters. Scott. Why do I end up watching horror movies with my name in it? First Poltergeist 3, and now this one. Scott's our main character, and he's getting married to his longtime girlfriend. He's getting picked up by his best man, Carter. And then they let slip something that's supposed to be a twist, but I figured it out right away. When they're talking, he's like, man, for life of me, I can't understand why she left me and is marrying you. I'm like, oh, so he's in on it and is trying to get revenge on Scott for taking the girlfriend away. Sure as shit enough, it is. There's a scene later in the movie where they all get kidnapped, taking the Elite Hunters Club, and the guy's like, hey, Carter's like, hey, what, you want to be next? Yeah, I'll be fucking next. He takes off his shirt, shows the tattoo. And he's let out. Yeah, he's in on it. And I'm just like, son of a bitch, I fucking knew it. He's in on it. This there's a virtual expectation and set up the twist right away after that. But it's not subtle enough. It's like, oh, I can't believe that she broke up with me and is dating you. Even though Scott cheated on her, which we find out. And again, after this though, they submit your expectations again. They're at this casino. They meet two girls, one of which has an accent. So they're talking to them, and you think, okay, these are the girls that are going to take them to the place. But it turns out they're also innocent the next morning, because they do this thing where Scott goes outside to puke and he gets all dizzy and passes out, and you see this driver guy that brought them there, and you think, okay, he's the one who's going to take them in, and the girls are in on it. But he wakes up the next morning in his hotel room with two of the other guys, Carter and Justin. Mike is missing. Mike is the asshole guy who's putting out, oh, I'm married, but she doesn't have to know I'm cheating on her and all that shit. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. It's stupid. He gets taken first, and is basically he's killed. I was taking a shower too. I didn't see everything, but he gets killed. He gets killed. So then they're trying to find Mike. They can't find him, and they find the girl, Nikki. One of the girls, Nikki, is also missing. So they go to her trailer, the trailer park she lives, break into her fucking trailer, and then are caught by Kendra, the other girl, and a bodyguard dude who just disappears after this, because when they go to meet them, he's just gone. And Kendra's just with them, and this guy's gone. Like, you think he could have helped, But, no. So they go back, they're going back to the hotel room, or they get back to the hotel room, I don't know, either one. They get a message from Mike, and supposedly a message from Mike. It said, we're at this address, she is sleeping. And it's a picture of her dead face that we just saw Travis take a picture of. I think it would have worked if you shown us the picture first and then zoom in on the screen, zoom back out, and show Travis holding the phone in front of the corpse. That would have been a better reveal. But you show us doing that, and we know, okay, it's a setup. Whereas if you show us the picture before, I know we already seen that she's dead, but who knows? We know they're both dead, but I don't know. It's maybe more effective the other way. I'm just saying. But yeah, they go to this place, immediately kidnapped, and then this is where we get the reveal that Carter's in on it. There's this other guy, Fleming, who's the basically the bald Russian guy from the last one. It's this guy now. His name is Fleming. This guy plays Germans all the time, I guess. Yeah, he doesn't much. He's, and they kill Justin, who's the cripple guy. It's like, they tell him to stay in the car. I'm like, okay, so Justin should be the one that saves them. But no, then Travis comes out like, hey, your friends want you to come inside, and then he tries to fight back and gets knocked out anyway. Doesn't do anything. But yeah, Justin obviously gets killed. I'm not going to go into it. There is one thing, though, with how they kill off Nikki. Fucking cockroaches down her throat. And it looks fine at first when they're crawling on top of her. Then they show the inside, and it's fully CGI. It looks terrible. This whole movie looks very low budget. This is the only one to be directly released on video, and it you can tell. It shows. Because it's just, the cinematography is bad, and these are not big actors. You haven't seen these people in anything except for Kendra. I've seen from Butterfly Effect 3. Otherwise, these other ones, never seen him before. Thomas Kretschmann, he was in Avengers: Age of Ultron until he was killed, and he's at the end of Winter Soldier, I think, too. But other than that, these are cheap actors you never met before. Cheap direct-to-video actors, mostly. And even Butterfly Effect 3 was direct-to-video, so you can't even say that about her. Yeah, it's cheap direct-to-video. So, shit happens, and eventually, they have Scott strapped to a chair. And they're like, this is where Carter reveals his master plan. You shouldn't be marrying her. So he's like, Amy, this is about Amy? Yeah, she should be with me. And once you die, she's gonna need someone to console her, and that's gonna be me. And then she'll get back together with me. And it's like, yeah, I fucking called it. if it's that easy to figure out one line of fucking dialogue, well, I've seen enough movies that do this stuff. But like, if it's that easy to figure out, maybe you should have been a little tricky and not included that. I don't know. But the guy, Fleming, releases Scott so they can fight, and eventually Scott's able to get out and get free. And then, pointlessly, he goes to rescue Kendra, only for her to get shot right away. And then you got Victor running around. He ends up dead. If he's not shot and killed, he dies in the explosion. And then you got Fleming tries to leave, but Carter kills him. And then puts his body in front of these spikes so he can just drive over the body. Like, is there some kind of code you can push in? I mean, you have a tattoo, right? So he should show you. I don't know. But he leaves. Scott gets out and watches as Carter drives out the gate. Carter locks the gate, and the thing blows up, supposedly killing Scott. All right? We cut to the end of the film, and we cut back to Scott's house, where Carter is there with Amy, consoling her. And I'm like, really? We're going to end this in a negative way? Like, this is not directed by Eli Roth. We still got a negative ending where this guy ends up getting with the girlfriend? Nope. Because it looks like he's going to. And like, oh, I can't believe he's gone. And all this shit. And they're like, she's like, I don't want to be alone tonight. And I'm like, wow, she turned quick. And then again, it is her ex, so maybe... And you wouldn't, if you lost a loved one, you probably wouldn't want to be alone tonight. You know. But then she's like, I'll get some wine. And so he sits down at the table, she goes, and she has the corkscrew. She's like, thing is, he's alive! And she stabs his hand, and then Scott comes from behind. And then they fucking kill him. Which, much like with the chick from the last one, can't be legal. But, fuck it. Like, it's probably known that this guy's the only survivor. Or maybe the cops know Scott survived. I don't know. But, like, take him to the police. Show him. I know they said before in the last two that the cops are involved. But I don't know. They don't know that. They don't know as much about this place as the ones from the other two. As Paxton did. You know. But, oh, by the way, one thing I forgot to mention. Because I watched a Jason from Sinister Cinema's review of the second one, and he mentioned this, and I didn't think about it till he said it. Why did they kill Paxton but not his girlfriend? His girlfriend knows about everything. She could go to the cops, she could go somewhere, she could go to a news outlet and just out these people. Now, of course, he also brought up that maybe she'd be too scared to do it. It makes sense, because Paxton says you don't know who's in on it. And so she could go to someone and say, hey, I got a story. Or, hey, this happened. And she'd be like, I know. And then she's fucking dead. So, I don't know. But if that's the case, why didn't they just kill her anyway? It's very confusing. But this movie was fine. I'll still give it a middle of the road, though, because I don't particularly care for these movies. But to me, and it's really weird, I think this was the best one. And it's not just because the main character is named Scott. It doesn't hurt it. But I did like this one better than the other two. I did like Paxton in the first one, and I was excited to see what they do with him in the second one, and then they just killed him off. Didn't care for any of the women in the sequel. No offense, just didn't particularly care for them. They were basically the same characters from the first one, just as women. This is not written or directed by Eli Roth. That's a big plus. The dialogue is not as bad as his dialogue. There's some instances where they tried to copy it, but it's not as bad. And while the cinematography is shit, it looks cheap. It feels cheap, and that the acting is very cheap. I'm fine. You know, I'm one of those guys who would rent or buy direct-to-video bullshit from Family Video. Like All Hallows Eve, stuff like that. I'm the one who relishes in cheap-ass Shudder original stuff. Some of that stuff is actually pretty good. So, you know, direct-to-video stuff, it's not that bad. But it's the middle of the road. This franchise, not for me. But I'm glad I'm done. We're going to move on to the next one, which will be the Hannibal franchise. But first, we need to take a stop in the world of Stephen King, which, if you're watching this, already happened because this is the next day. But I recorded this one first because this was the shorter movie. The Dead Zone, which I'm doing next, is 103 minutes. This one is 88 minutes. Which one's shorter? This one, get it done before I have to go. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. So, what are your thoughts on Hostel Part 3? Comment below, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.